All right, all right, all right.
All right, I think we're live.
Well, I ain't dead yet.
That's good.
Hi, I'm Stu.
Hey, Stewart, how you doing?
I'm good. Who are you?
It says Jeff.
What? No, come
I'll go
on.
with that.
We're gonna go with that.
All right. All right. So you want to? I think maybe we should start with just kind of talking about our experience with gaming when it started and all that.
Yeah,
Maybe give people a sense of where we're coming from.
yeah.
You want to go
Well,
first?
and should we welcome everybody to the debut
Yeah.
episode?
Well, we got George here. He's watching.
Hey, George. Yeah, so this is something we've been talking about. You've been thinking about it for a while, right?
Have been.
Yeah.
And I found it. It's like, why don't I just do a Stewart?
Yeah. And
Makes a lot of sense.
I thought we were calling it gogamego.
Well, I purposely want to. Well, the name Go Game Go actually comes from, probably like 15 years ago. I wrote an outline for like an anime.
Yeah.
And it was called Go Game Go.
Wow.
And the whole thing about professional video game players and stuff. And it's kind of funny because the professionals had a hybrid system that they could either use handheld or plug it into their TV and use. Kind of like what the Switch is right now.
Right.
But I just ran across the stuff, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and I scanned it all in or took pictures of it. So it's kind of cool because I had like an overall story for like I think 5 seasons, and I'd written like a few episodes for the first season. So I was glad I found it. But the reason I did the whole logo and the name, and I ran the words "Go Game Go" together to make it look more Japanese, because
Right.
each one of those is a Japanese sound. Gogamego.
Yeah.
That's how that came about.
I love it.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So do we pronounce it Go Game Go?
I just say Go Game Go.
Yeah, that's our show. This is our show. Welcome to Go Game Go.
Now we know what it's called.
Go Game Go. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Hey there, Quick Straw.
Quick Straw.
My son has stolen my name, Quick Straw, from me.
One day we'll be dead and our kids will just have that's the way they'll do it.
I won't even exist soon.
Hopefully not that soon.
So when did what's your first memory of video gaming or electronic gaming?
Oh, dude, video gaming for me started with Atari 2600. Our awesome mug.
Right. Oh, mine's right off screen here.
I can't even figure out how the hell to do this and where to hold it. It's so weird. I'll get it. Trust me, I'll get it. But that's where it started. I mean, I'm lying. I was into it before that. We were playing Asteroids, and there was a record store in my hometown area, and I would go there, and they had this little eatery next door, and in there, and please, if when everybody sees these and when they're listening, and if you hear us talk about something that you're like, holy shit, nobody talks about that. Because I'm a music head too. So if I'm talking music and I say something about a band, somebody goes, wow. And so, but if anybody ever remembers the game Rip Off, we were just talking about this the other day. I was describing it to Jeff. You had a bunch of triangles in the middle, and then you had a ship on one side and on the top, and the other one, if it was 2 players you were playing, the other one had the ship on the bottom. And other ships would come in and try to steal your fuel, which were those triangles, and it was laid out like asteroids. The graphics were the same as asteroids.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'd steal them, and you'd have to shoot them to keep them. At first you're like, this ain't nothing, and then they'd zoom in and start taking it. You're like, no. So then you could try to get it back to the center if you could, but there was that. There was also a game called New York, New York, that was about an alien invasion, and that was at the dairy where I used to go and visit. There was a cute girl that worked there, and so that was like biking or walking distance from my house. So I was into that, and then of course,
was that late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, late 70s, early 80s.
I think it's funny that arcade games were everywhere then. Grocery stores, places, laundromats, anywhere you went, they had a couple of arcade games sitting around.
Yeah, this dairy had Asteroids and New York, New York. And I remember I finally got really good at Asteroids, and I had just flipped it over, the score back to 0, and my buddy accidentally unplugged the machine. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? I could have punched him. I was just texting with him recently, so we're still on track. So I didn't kill him. I thought about beating him with a bottle of milk, but
dropping the Asteroids machine on top of him. A fitting demise.
You know how it is when your brain is so psyched and you get to do marvelously superhero kind of things, lifting cars. That's what it was like. I was so mad I lifted the damn machine and put it on his head. Did
you have a Shakey's pizza?
I did. It was in the neighboring town. We did not have one in my small town, but they had it.
We had one. This had to be mid to late 70s. And we went there, and we used to go there a lot, but we went there one day and they had 2 arcade games. I'd never even seen them. I'd never seen an arcade game in my life before.
Oh, really? At that time?
They had I think it was called Gunfight. On the Atari 2600, it was Outlaw. It was just 2 cowboys shooting each other.
Because that's what
they had basketball, which was pretty much the same as the Atari 2600 basketball.
Oh, okay.
The one where they had the basketball was square.
Yeah. Of course. That shows talent. You can bounce a square ball. Come on.
And they ran with one leg too.
The Atari made you do stupid crap. I mean, we do stupid crap now in these games. Like when I get on, I would get on a PS3 on the network, and all I want to do is just spend 30 minutes playing a game, right? And killing enemies that are coming at me with somebody, I don't know who you are, but you're in on this game. And then you get in on a game and somebody's killing you. Like, stop it. That really pisses me off. But you do silly things on the 2600. I remember Berserk. Remember Berserk?
Yeah.
And you just get right up next to the wall and go with your gun. Just make it. Because that's sometimes how you would kill the guys. They'd walk up to you. You're like, well, if I keep my gun firing, they'll just walk into it. There you go. Stupid.
It's like an early strategy guide.
Step up to the wall right here.
Now, before I got a 2600 probably around 1980.
Okay.
And before I got that, I was big into electronic games.
Oh, like the football handheld and the.
Yeah, it was funny because I think the year before I got my Atari, I got some electronic games.
Yeah.
And I really wanted that Mattel football game.
Yeah, that was a classic.
But when I didn't get one that Christmas. What I got was this.
Cold.
Bambino football. And at first I was like, what is this? And then I turned it on and I noticed, well, first of all, it has graphics. It's a top-down view of all the guys on the field.
Yeah.
It has 3 formations you can choose from. And you can pass and kick. And here's the big thing: you can actually go backwards in this game.
What?
So if you're running and you're kind of stuck there at I think there's like 3 lanes. You're stuck at the top, and then some guy comes down. You can actually back up, go down and around them, and take off.
Oh yes, yeah. Couldn't you do that on the Mattel?
I don't think you could do that until the Football 2 edition.
So what you're saying is what you actually got. Your parents thought about it.
Somehow my parents got me a far superior football game that I had never even seen in my life.
Who makes it?
Bambino. And then I ended up getting boxing. Got boxing, football, a space laser game. I got a whole bunch of these things. I still have them. They're awesome. So because I remember whenever we went to Sears, like my mom and grandma, I'd go tag along because Sears had a whole display of electronic games back in the like 77, 78. And so it was awesome. I'd go there and play those. And then they brought the Atari out by, I don't know what it was, 78, 79 when I first saw it. And I sit there and play that all the time while they were shopping. And I remember in 1980 for Christmas, I don't even know what I asked for. I have no idea what I asked for. I know I didn't ask for an Atari because they were ridiculously expensive. They're like $200.
Right.
And $200 in 1979, 1980. I don't know what that is. $800 now.
$1 million.
It's so I knew there's no chance I was getting an Atari, so I didn't even ask for it.
So you might as well have been $1 million.
But when I was opening my gifts, my sister gave me a gift, and I opened up, and it was Space Invaders.
Oh yeah.
Atari, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what am I going to do with this? That's what I was just I didn't say it. That's what I was looking at. And then I went, here, open up this gift, and I opened it up, and it was the Atari.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it.
So had you played Atari? Had you played Asteroids yet?
In the arcade?
Yeah.
Yes, that was my favorite arcade game at the time.
Okay. And
that was 1979, I think it came out.
Yeah, and Galaxian.
Yep, that was like a cross between Space Invaders and Galaga.
Yeah,
they'd line up and they'd have a few swoop, and then Galaga came in. It was like a whole bunch of guys spinning around.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So am I thinking of Galaga?
Galaga on the Turbo Graphics. Is that the one you're thinking?
Galaga, and what was the other one? Why can't I think of the other one? Where you're flying across.
Defender.
So what did you think when you plugged everything in? And so you get everything plugged in, you get it all hooked up, and you throw in asteroids. No, not asteroids. Space Invaders.
Well, I had 2 games. I had Combat because it came with the system, and Space Invaders.
Combat. Yeah.
And I played Space Invaders so much. I thought Combat was kind of cool, but Space Invaders I absolutely loved. I'd never played it before. It was the first time I'd seen it.
Yeah, and did it happen to you too? It happened to me where like you're sleeping and you can see the lines. Boop, 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 boop.
It got to the point, you know how the old Atari games, you could flick those switches, you'd have different modes.
Yeah.
And they had one that was invisible. All the Space Invaders were invisible.
Yes.
So when you have one game, you get pretty good. And before you know it, I have the switch on invisible, and I'm still clearing screens.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't do that today to save my life. There's no way. But
yeah, your skills diminish, right?
And you know what's funny is I played that with my mom a ton because it was 2-player.
And your mom your mom's kick ass.
Yeah. She would be on the right, I'd be on the left. And then we each took, half the screen.
Yeah.
So I'd clear my half, and then I'd scoot over there, and then I'd help her clear her half.
I'll be right there. Hold on.
Because she used to get nervous because the music would start getting faster and faster, and the aliens are getting faster and faster.
That wigger out.
Yeah. And I actually like the Atari version better than the arcade version, which is a weird thing. The Atari version is, I thought, just tremendous.
Wow.
Plus, the original Space Invaders was just black and white, and this one had color.
Well, okay. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I guess it was the asteroids that I was more disappointed.
All right. So hear about asteroids on 2600, everyone I hear talk about it loves it. So Asteroids is my favorite arcade game. I bought it for the Atari, or I got it as a gift. I can't remember. I plugged it in, and I was like, "This isn't Asteroids." It's like, "What is this?"
No.
First of all, it was all in color, which threw me for a loop.
Exactly.
Even that wouldn't be too bad. But when you start the game, the asteroids just go vertically.
Yes.
They don't crisscross.
No.
You literally have to create your own mayhem. You have to start shooting things or shooting the asteroids to get them to start, and then it would go in crazy directions. And then it was fun.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I had forgotten.
To start the game, I was like, "What the heck? This is dumb." So I was hugely disappointed. And then I went with my dad to there's a computer store. They sold Atari games, and Pac-Man was coming out. I was all excited.
Oh yeah.
And we go there, and I see it on the TV, and I was like, what is that? That's not Pac-Man. I told my dad, I said, "Let's just forget it." I said, "I don't even know what this is. This is not Pac-Man." You've seen that, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm seeing if I can
pull up any of that stuff. Let's see. What was the other company that made stuff? There was.
Look at this.
Oh yeah, let me take a look. I guess to blow it up. Oh yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we had it. That's what my brother, the one game I played the crap out of in a handheld, he had a handheld Pac-Man game.
Was it
worse than E.T.?
I was watching
Pac-Man Phone Home.
There was an Atari documentary. I can't remember what it was called now. But I was watching it, and they had a bunch of the developers, a bunch of the guys talking about it.
Yeah.
And they said that, or they talked, because one guy made Pac-Man. They'd get assigned a game, and this guy got Pac-Man, and a lot of people were jealous because they would get paid on commission as well as their salary.
Oh.
So he got Pac-Man, even though it was a god-awful game. His commission was something like, or his bonus was like $1 or $2 million.
Oh my God.
And so everyone was all pissed off because they wanted that. I was like, man, I don't know. I did not like that game at all.
I did have that. I played it. Can you pull up a Berserk?
Oh, for 2600?
Yeah. Now did you get the 5200?
No.
We didn't either. But my friend down the street had Intellivision.
Oh man. I never seen that. I was jealous of the Intellivision. I was like, because my neighbor had it.
Oh yeah.
Like, son of a gun, that thing is really cool looking.
Yeah, that adventure game they had. That was like I guess it was like a precursor to.
Are you talking about the Dungeons and Dragons one, Cloudy Mountain?
Yes. Yeah, that was a cool game. Oh yeah, there you go. Berserk. Yeah, that's it.
Oops.
Yeah, 1982.
Oh.
Ooh, I was just 3 years old. Either that or I was about ready to graduate high school, one of the two. 1982, yeah. Good Lord.
Yeah, I never played the Atari version of that.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, if I can pull it away from my dad for a short bit, you can check it out.
I've got the Atari stuff on my NVIDIA Shield. I got an emulator, and I got all the Atari games on there. I threw them on there.
Yeah,
which is cool. So I get to try. I can try those out. Maybe, yeah, I have to try it.
Did you play pinball much?
I played video pinball on the 2600.
Did you? Yeah, we did too. Yeah. I had a buddy of mine who, Kurt, whose dad, they used to get really competitive. I just remember laughing because his dad's calling from the other, got to do high score
On pinball.
Yeah, on a PC pinball game. Because I know we've been talking pinball a lot lately because we've been buying up some of the tables on the Switch.
Oh yeah, on the
yeah, the FX, is it FX3?
Yeah.
Those are good games.
Whoops. There you go.
That's it. Video pinball. We had it. We've still got it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I used to play the heck out of that.
Oh, we did too. Oh man, trying to get those balls through the two spaces at the top.
Oh yeah, I like the little Atari logo here.
Yeah. And then did those? It's a 1 right now, right? And then you'd go through it and it'd turn into a 2 after you get them all, or something.
I think it flipped over after 9, didn't it?
Yeah, it might have. Oh, good Lord, that's amazing.
Look at the square bumpers.
I know, that's square bumpers, square basketballs, and then a square pong ball.
Huh. So what did you play during the dark days, like after 83, when the Atari went belly up?
Well, we just kept playing the Atari. My buddy had the Intellivision. I think somebody I knew had ColecoVision.
Ooh, I always wanted that. That was so cool of him.
Yeah. I was, he'd always want to play me in baseball on the Intellivision, and I sucked. I'm not great with all the button stuff. So when he had buttons from all those buttons, it was like a funnel.
Yeah, you put that overlay on there.
You put the overlay on, yeah.
Have you seen the new Intellivisions coming out?
No.
In October?
Huh? Oh, really? You mean like one of those the system that's got a bunch of the games on it and stuff?
No, a brand new system, all new games.
They're doing an Intellivision.
So I think about 2 years ago, I remember hearing about it, that they're bringing a new Intellivision. I was like, well, that sounds pretty cool. And I was checking into it, and do you know who Tommy Tallarico is?
Yeah.
He used to be on was Electric Playground doing reviews with Victor Lucas.
Okay.
And he does his main thing was he did video game music for years and years. But he was a huge Intellivision fan. And when the current president of Intellivision died several years ago, I think he bought in, and I think now he's the CEO of Intellivision. And his plan was to come up with a new system mainly geared for families, where the games would be fairly easy to learn.
Yeah.
Easy to get into, play a bunch of rounds, go to another game, start playing that. Actually, I can show you that. So I've been following it for a long time, and now it's getting close to launch. It's
yeah, we're gonna have to get back out there and get to a CES show again.
Let me see if this comes up.
Instead of the gamer, we're gonna have to have Go Game Go at the CES. I don't know when you want me to throw down about some of my. We'll have to get into that. Some of our favorite memories from going to CES.
It just hit me the other day when we pulled up the first year. Maybe it was the second. I don't know. We were in the parking garage, and you just pulled in. You were driving. You just pulled in, and there was a space to your right open.
Okay.
And so we hadn't gotten in the car yet, and this other guy came, and he was trying to turn into that space.
Yeah.
And you said, for some reason, you said, "This idiot's going to hit me."
Oh. And
I'm thinking, why would he hit you? He's just pulling into a spot, and he rammed right into you, and you just pushed your car up against the wall. I was like, that was a weird call. Yeah, he just ran right into you.
I'm pretty good at that. I can perceive when people are going to do crap like that. Like in high school, they had a thing in our driver's ed class where they're like, who do you think's going to have your first accident? And I told him who I thought it was going to be. It was this one guy in my class. I'm like, Carrie's going to have it. And boom, sure enough, first accident. I'm like, I don't know. I can call that crap. You can see it happening. Gosh. See, now that harkens back to my buddy who tells me stuff. And he's like, remember that? I'm like, boy, why don't I remember that?
I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, my God.
So we were talking before we went live. We were talking about that we attended the CES show, which is the precursor to E3, summer of '91, and it was like one of the biggest CES shows because Nintendo announced the Super Nintendo.
Oh man, yeah. Sega had a whole big thing,
and then Sony announced they were doing a CD with Nintendo on Friday, and then Saturday Nintendo just pushed Sony out of the way and said, we're doing a CD player with Philips. And the funny thing is, and I think you said the same thing, I have no memory of that whole Nintendo, Sony, Philips fiasco happening. And we were right there.
No.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
The thing I remember most is, it's so stupid. It was a Game Boy game, Faceball.
Yeah,
it was a 3D shooter on Game Boy, and for some reason I remember Faceball. I think it was Faceball 2000 or something.
Yeah,
I remember that, but I completely forgot about the. I completely missed the big story, which is hilarious.
It's like I don't know. It's like being at the table and missing all the really good food because you like the mashed potatoes. I don't know. You're just like, what? Did you get the steak? You got the steak, right? You got the shrimp? No, you got mashed potatoes. Okay, I love mashed potatoes, dude.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I do remember we were walking around CES, and we came to the TurboGrafx area.
Oh, dude, yeah. Let's talk.
But instead of this.
Yeah.
Which is this is the mini. That's right, the real thing.
I've got the real thing in there.
Yeah, I've got it over there somewhere.
I've just got to fix mine.
The one I have is the one. Remember, you called NEC, and I bought my TurboGrafx through NEC through you, and they gave you a discount.
That's right. That's right.
And so I still have that. Look at this mini. It actually opens up like this back.
So that's the brand new.
This is one of those machines. It's like it has like 53 games on it or so.
Yeah.
But they even made the back just like the original.
I know. That's amazing. Amazing. So I have to find out what all the games are on there. Because I just want to know if there's some of those on there. Because at that time, that's when the St. Louis Sun came out. And I was doing video game. I'll get some of those out. I've got them all archived now. And
you were doing reviews for them, right?
Yeah, and I did video game reviews, and they would come out every Saturday because on Saturdays when their comics section would come out, not on Sunday mornings. So so they started off their thing. So it was all their comics, and in the back they'd have my review. And I remember reviewing the TurboGrafx, and that's when the companies were just sending me stuff. They sent me the TurboGrafx system. They sent me the CD system for it, and that's when they were putting together albums that had CDG graphics. They had the graphics on there. Yeah, okay, so what do we have? We have.
I had never even seen it. I hadn't even heard of a TurboGrafx. I came over to your house and you were playing with one. I loved it, man. I thought
the graphics were amazing. The games were amazing. Okay, so I have Alien Crush, Did I have Blazing Light? You are a Bomberman freak, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We run a. Did you know we do a Bomberman tournament?
No.
Yeah.
Well, now it's a Go Game Go tournament.
I bought I bought the domain SaturnBomberman.com.
Oh God.
And I haven't updated it in several years, but we were running tournaments like every Thanksgiving. We all get together and just run 2 tournaments. It was awesome.
Oh man. Oh, new Adventure Island. Adventure Island was pretty cool. R-Type was great. JJ and Jeff, I remember promo stuff on that. I never played it.
You know what's interesting? When I was watching people play videos of this, when they get to JJ and Jeff, they play it for about 3 minutes, and they're like, "This is terrible," and they stop. I really like the game.
Well, now, does it have? I'm eager to know. Does it have some of the CD games on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Lords of Thunder.
Okay, right. Okay.
Splatterhouse. Ease Book 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then they have a bunch of Japanese games.
Did I see Galaga 88?
Mm-hmm.
That's on your little system there?
Yep.
Shut up.
That is my favorite Galaga game ever.
Oh, man.
And they have a bunch of some of the games are repeats for some reason, Japanese and English. Like you can't play Ease 1 and 2 in Japanese unless you know the language.
Oh, right.
So I don't get why they did that. It's kind of weird.
Well,
it's cool. Like the when you plug the system in, it comes up with the turbo graphics. Actually, the top half of the screen looks just like this.
Yeah. And
when you pick a game, it takes the little cue card,
it sticks it in,
slides it in. Yeah, slides it in. And if you pick a CD game, a CD player pops up, and you can hear it whirling around.
Well, now what's the one that I had? I've got it in there. What was the one that I had? Was that Adventure Island? I guess is that the one?
Yeah, there's a new Adventure Island. You also, I remember you had Military Madness.
I did.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. The one I played the crap out of, and I don't see it on the list, is Bloody Wolf. Bloody Wolf? Yeah, Bloody Wolf.
I don't think that's on here.
Yeah, Bloody Wolf is the one. Actually, that's the one where I was playing through it, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I know this song. I told you I'm a music head. Everybody else, Jeff already knows this. But that's when I was playing through the game, and you have to play through the game as one of the mercs, right? So you go through as one of the mercs, and then that merc gets surrounded by the bad guys and taken prisoner. Then the brother has to come in and get the other brother's ass out. So when you're going back through, there's a part where the floor has lasers, and you have to jump over that. And during that part, I'm listening to the music. I'm like, I know this song. And it was White Sister by Toto.
Really?
From their Hydra record, 1979.
Wait, it was a Toto song on Bloody Wolf?
Somebody had gone in and they'd I guess they'd learned the song, and it was they had it on there. And I remember years later, probably not too many years later, but it was the internet days were getting going, and email was moving along. And I remember, I don't know how I even bumped into this person online, but they knew Steve Lukather, and I said, could you ask him a question for me? I don't expect you to turn me on to his email and do that, but can you ask him if they sanctioned a song, White Sister, to be used in a video game? And she goes, he has no recollection of that. I'm like, prick. Dude stole that song and put it in Bloody Wolf.
That's hilarious. Jeez.
Oh man! And then, of course, I guess they had Black Sabbath tune. I guess in Maximum Carnage, which is over there.
Was that licensed?
I think so. I think it was covered by, remember Green Jelly did the music for it? I think they used to be called, Jello. Was it Jello? They were called Jello, but then they had to change it to Green Jelly. I'm a music head, but when it comes to music, I don't really give a shit about them. I'm a metal head.
You know, the one game that they don't have, I know we used to play a lot, was remember Power Baseball?
Oh, yeah, I remember it. Yeah. And, of course, we were just reminiscing about one of my favorite stories about me and Jeff playing or not playing anymore was when I go over to your house and you had just gotten the what was it? Why can't I say it? Not Super Nintendo, the next one.
Genesis?
Nintendo
64?
The 64, yeah. And you're like, man, I got this great, I got the 64. I'm like, really? And you're like, yeah, there's this cool game. It's called Wave Race.
Oh.
I'm like, awesome. So I go over, and that's back when we used to do late night or all night things. And I'd come over and make pizza.
Yes.
And I got really good at the game, and then you wouldn't play me anymore.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games ever.
It is fantastic. Did you play the second one then?
On GameCube, yeah.
Yeah.
I still like the Nintendo 64 one just a little bit better.
So do I. I got my skills back on it pretty well. I used the girl, I do believe. The woman.
Remember the voice on there? There was always something funny, like
yeah.
Like you were in first place, and then something happened, like 2 or 3 people passed.
Great job.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah.
You pulled out ahead or something strange. You've just fallen behind.
You've lost the lead. I'm like, shut the hell up. God. Okay. Be with me when it's great. Great job. Thanks a lot. You've lost the lead. Shut the hell up.
Oh.
Close. Didn't he say something that or
What was it?
It is.
Oh man, I don't know, but I got to start recording that. I got to make some sound bites, that's for sure. And then I'll weave them into the show theme. Oh crap. Yeah, Wave Race. I did enjoy this second one for the graphics. I mean, the graphics, went way up on
way better
on the GameCube. And they had some shortcuts in there that were pretty cool. It was tough to get it though. I mean, there was nothing like, I don't know, man. There's just nothing. I remember when it came out, and then to kind of combat that, PlayStation put out Jet Moto.
Oh yeah.
And I just did not like Jet Moto.
Yeah.
I could not understand where the hell I was supposed to go.
No, that wasn't near.
It's just awful.
I remember.
I'm like, make it a little simpler, and it's a lot more fun.
I remember I lent you my Wave Race game 64 because if you completed the game, I think first place on everything, you got reverse tracks. So since you were way better at it, I just gave it to you, and you opened up everything, and then I remember
that. I remember that.
That was awesome.
I do remember that. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember thinking back then, I was like, I wonder if these games would be worth more money if you have certain things unlocked, and that never really happened. But
yeah, that's true.
Like with Star Fox 64.
Oh yeah.
If you beat the game, you unlocked every part of the multiplayer mode.
Yes.
So you could even have a person on foot running around, which was insane.
Yes.
It was cool though.
Yeah, Star Fox. I just remember loving that game and hating it. You'd kick my ass.
And what, Star Fox?
Yes. I could not get the hang of it. I just could not.
Yeah, man, I love that game.
And there were certain missions where you had to, you had to fly a certain pattern, and you had to do. Oh God, I loved it and hated it at the same time.
I thought it was really difficult.
Oh, it was difficult.
I had
Probably still is. I still own it.
I had a cheat code thing. I forgot what it was called. I don't know if it was a Game Genie or what it was back then, but I used that for like extra lives or something.
Yeah.
And I finally got to the end of the game, and you've got to. It's like your dad appears or something, and he's in a ship, and you have to follow him.
Yeah.
To get out. But he keeps taking different paths, and you got to keep up with him so you know where he's going.
God, yeah, I forgot about.
And I was down to my last life, even though it was a cheat thing, and he still only gave you so many lives. And I was down to my last one, and I lost them, and I had to guess like the last 3 ways, and I happened to guess right, so I beat the game.
Oh my God!
I'll say, man, I'm not doing this again. It was a pain.
This isn't like Invisible Space Invaders. Flying Blind with Jeff McGraw.
Close to it, anywhere close.
Oh man.
Quick straw, going blind.
You have anything?
So yeah, so many years ago, this is something that we did. We did a gamer magazine is what we really wanted to do. And it was, I don't know, we had fun. Jeff does great illustrations.
It's basically from, is this, wait a minute, 30 years ago? Is that right?
Almost. Next year will be 30 years.
Jeez.
I know. Where does it go?
30 years. It's crazy.
It's twisted. It's barely crazy. It's twisted.
Hey, I remember from the first CES show. You went to all the different booths and they'd hand you stuff, buttons, pens, and everything.
Yes.
And there was a video game magazine there. They had just started up, and they're giving away their first issue. And it was Game Informer.
Oh, wow.
And that was from, I guess, 91. And they're still around. They're the magazine that GameStop gives you.
Yeah.
And the editor was actually in the original magazine. He was a writer back then.
Wow.
He's been with them the entire time, almost 30 years. That might be a record for a video game magazine.
I would assume so, yeah. Oh, man. Well, yeah, we reviewed Arch Rivals in here.
Oh, that the basketball game?
Yeah, and this one that I just showed you earlier, we've got to get together again and make some pizza and do it over again. And we got to play some of this.
Oh boy, that was a good game.
Do you remember what the big thing about this game was? You used the multi-tap, plugged in the multi-tap, and four
player?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That was a killer game. It was teams around the world, right?
Yeah.
It was just an amazing game.
I guess kind of like ice hockey. They had all different games.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I know we used to play ice hockey a lot on the Switch. You've yes.
Yeah.
You've downloaded yes. You've downloaded the NES and the SNES online app, haven't you?
Yeah.
If you create a Japanese account, it's not that difficult to do.
Okay.
Because I have like a Japanese account on my Switch, so I can go into their eShop.
Yeah.
So I went to their eShop and I downloaded their NES and Super Nintendo apps, and they're almost the same, but every so often you get some different games that we don't have here. So it's kind of cool to play. Yeah. But the one weird thing I didn't realize is they had ice hockey on theirs for the NES app, and it's slightly different. The music's different. Wow. There's some different teams. I mean, Japan's in it. Yeah. Pretty sure they weren't in the U.S. version. I don't remember Japan in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's just slightly different. The
That's
biggest
awesome.
difference is the music. So it's kind of cool to play it.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
if it can have even a new feel, it's nice to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, again, I'll go back to Music Headland, and that's like when Kiss released their box sets, and they had Kiss Meets the Phantom, and I saw the Japanese version, and in that one they put songs from their solo records from 1978 in the little dead spaces that were in the original for here in the States. And I love that.
That is awesome.
It was a beautiful way to watch something that you're like, I know this is complete crap, but it's something I love, but with a new little twist of a bunch of songs that I really like from those solo records. It was what a great way to embellish. So I get exactly what you're saying, where you're like, hey, this is like something that I knew, but it's a little different, and that's cool. Gives it a little new life. It's pretty neat. Let's see what else we did. We gave Arch Rivals a fair, by the way.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, we had poor, 1 stars. It was up to 4 stars. We had poor, fair, good, and excellent. Super Spike Volleyball got a 4.
Oh. Yeah.
And
did we do a Simpsons game?
What's that?
Did we do a Simpsons game? Review a Simpsons game?
No. No, but it was out at the time. When did the Simpsons start? They started right about then, right? They were on Tracy Ullman first, and then
I think in '89, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's Tracy Ullman.
Let's see, and then my God. Okay, so this is 1991, and we had a section called Vintage Video.
Oh my God.
We were ahead of our time. Way ahead of our time.
91 Vintage Video.
So in there we talked about our favorite. Say it, Jeff. I'm going to let you do this impersonation.
Oh. Double. Got the voice in that game with something else.
I'm not even going to follow you with that. Double dribble.
You remember the great moment of double dribble history?
What's that?
The great moment in double dribble history.
Yeah, tell me. Remind me.
I was over your house when we were playing, and normally I think we were pretty even. We'd go back and forth.
Yeah, we did.
But something happened in one game, and I could not miss a 3-point shot. I hit it one after another. Every time you brought the ball out, I would just steal it and shoot and score. And I don't know if there was a glitch in the game or if I was having the greatest game of my life.
Or both.
But it was just such a weird thing. And I was laughing hysterically because I thought this was the funniest thing ever.
And I must have been pissed as hell.
I don't even think we finished the game because I remember you slamming the controller down. I don't know what happened. That was just the weirdest thing. It didn't matter where I shot from. I'd still score. It was
whatever. I gotta go take a crap. I'll be right back. Shoot. 3 points. What? I gotta go get a hot dog. Shoot. 3 points. What the hell?
I was thinking of laying my controller down to see if I could still score.
Which, of course, takes me back to what we were reminiscing about the other night when I came over to play CTR. One night it was late. I was like, okay, dude, I'm coming over. We're going to play. And I brought CTR, and I was really good at it at the time. I'd been playing a crap ton of it. You hadn't played it at all. And we're playing, and I'm kicking your ass and falling asleep. I'm just like, and my car's off the road. I'm like, whoa, what? Whoa.
Yeah, I have that on the Switch. I stink at that game.
It's
at that time,
such a good game.
It's a good game. The only kart racer I played then was Diddy Kong.
Yes,
racing,
which was a beautifully amazing game
because the single player was awesome with the adventure mode and stuff.
Yes,
I bought that instead of Mario Kart 64.
Yeah,
because when the original came out on the Super Nintendo,
not good.
I think most people love it. It's a classic, but I couldn't play it because it made me dizzy.
Oh,
with all the shifting Mode 7 stuff.
Right. Right.
It made me nauseous. I couldn't play.
Uh,
So I passed on the next one. I got Diddy Kong instead. But now
see,
I love it.
I didn't like it because I couldn't quite figure. There was one of the tracks that was driving me bananas, and I just couldn't get past it. I'm like, what is going on? I don't get it.
Well, it's hard to see because it was all flat. I don't think there was any hills in that first one. I think it was all flat.
So it was like a go-kart track almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's funny you bring that up because I read an article when they were making that game. Nintendo actually took their people developing the game. They took them to a go-kart
park.
Yeah, so they could get the feel of how it should feel.
Right.
Kind of neat.
That's very Disney.
Yes.
Very Disney. We also vintage video at that time was Major League Baseball by LJN.
Wait, for the NES?
Yeah. Yeah. In Major League Baseball, not only does the player or players have a choice of one or two players and game selection, but he or she has league selection, designated hitter selection, team selection, and player selection.
So wait, what was out at the time? Super Nintendo and TurboGrafx and Genesis, right?
Yes.
Or was Super Nintendo even out? That came out in 91.
No, it wasn't, because we're reviewing 8-bit games. Super Spike Volleyball, Arch Rivals, and we did the game that I'm dying to play again, Little Nemo.
Oh man, that's a good game.
Yeah, I've got it. It's with my system right now. I'm gonna hook it up to my big screen TV. And we did Caveman Games by Data East.
Oh wow, jeez.
Caveman Games, we gave it 1.5.
Wait, is that part of the vintage thing?
No, that was new, and I drew that one. I drew that one.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So wait, we were doing reviews of NES games, and we were reviewing vintage games that were also NES games.
That was my point. I'm like, God, at this point, we're already doing vintage video games.
It's been out 6 months.
Because that was, that's when everything started taking off. Computers were going, and everything was changing so fast. That's when that whole, technology kicked me off a hill and said, try to keep up. Yeah. Almost every, I don't know, year or two, we got a new system coming out at that point.
Because after the Atari, I remember I got a Commodore 64.
Mm-hmm.
And I mostly programmed on it, but I did play a few games. But then I didn't play any games really from then until I met you, which was 89?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you had an NES, which you had an NES, I think a TurboGrafx and a Genesis. I think this was even before Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember playing Sonic for the first time, and I thought the music and the graphics were incredible, and TurboGrafx.
Yeah, and then you took off. You had the Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, I got that day one. I love that. I still love that.
And then the Jaguar came out.
I actually got that late. I got it really cheap.
Yeah, my brother got one. I remember.
$50 or less.
Yeah, and then took a crap on him eventually, I think.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. That controller was pretty awful.
Yeah. I mean, I started getting into systems late. I was kind of always into the systems late because we were at that point where we were having kids, and, thank God for writing reviews because I got a lot of things for free at that time.
The Genesis was the first system I bought myself. I bought it at Venture, if you remember that old store.
Good old Venture, man.
They had a senior citizen discount day. I drove my grandma there.
Oh, I thought maybe you put on a
disguise. I took her there.
I remember you taking your grandma.
And she bought it, and then I just paid her afterwards, so I get my 10% discount.
Your Grandma B.
Yeah, I think it was like 150 or something.
Oh man, she was an awesome gal.
Oh, she's my favorite.
She, my biggest memory of her is when I came over to work on your computer, your Mac. I came over to do some graphics on your Mac, and I remember you fired it up, and you walked out. You fired it up, and you left your office in your house. And
it was in fluorescent, right?
Huh?
This is in fluorescent, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
I think I had a Centra 650.
I'll take your word for it. All I know is that you had been gone, and it finally was warming up. It took a minute.
Oh.
And all of a sudden it goes, I don't know if you had speakers hooked up, but it sounded like she was in the room, and he goes, "Hey, everybody, it's Grandma B." I was like, "Oh my God. What is that?" It scared the crap out of me.
Oh, I forgot we had to record that, and I made that my startup sound. I'm like,
You did. Scared the crap out of me.
the sound was great because you're right. It sounded like she was like right behind you or something.
Oh, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. So good. So scaring my ass off. Good.
I would give anything if I get that audio file back.
Oh yeah, it's too bad you don't have that.
That was just so long ago. I mean, that was
Yeah.
mid 90s maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember. I think one of my I probably shouldn't talk about it. Probably one of my best, my favorite funny moments. Let's just put funny moment in there. Is when I was filming walking, and I'll find this. I'll find it. It's on VHS in there somewhere. I'll find it. And I just remember this pretty girl walking by, and I'm filming, and you just take the camera and you just.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, I can't argue with you. Good call. Good
That
call.
was CES.
At CES in Chicago at the McCormick place.
Didn't we stay?
What's that?
The first year, didn't we stay at? Was it a relative of yours?
We stayed at my cousin's place. Barely. Because remember, I'd gotten a new stereo. You had never been to Chicago.
No, that was the first time.
It was the first time. I took you to Chicago, and you got to see like two sides of Chicago. So we pull into what they call Boys Town.
That's where they lived, right?
What's that?
Didn't they live there or close by?
Yeah, that's where she and her boyfriend lived at the time. And she was like, "I'll try to get you a parking space in the parking deck, but I can't guarantee I can do that." She couldn't. No fault of her.
I remember thinking, like, a parking spot. I'm like, I'm used to St. Louis out in the county, and it's like,
yeah,
there's parking everywhere. What do you mean?
This is down in the city. And where did we end up parking? In front of
what was it?
A liquor store. And there was a gentleman dressed as a woman.
I don't remember this.
And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, I'm showing here, I'm showing you the greatest part of Chicago, I guess. But I had just gotten a new car stereo, and I thought I'm like, oh, I got to cover this up because I don't want to get broken into.
Well, at the time, wasn't like a great neighborhood, was it at the time?
No. So we pulled in.
It was what, almost 30 years ago. Yeah. So
yeah. Like I say, Boys Town, not too far from Wrigley, if I remember right. And so I barely slept. We got in. It was late. I think it was like, I don't know. It was very late, nonetheless. And we had a meeting the next morning to make a Nintendo meeting at a hotel down the road. So here we are parking out in front of the liquor store with a transvestite hanging out front. I was concerned about my stereo getting ripped off. And then I'd sleep like 3 hours. I don't know. And then we got in the car, took off, and pulled into a posh hotel down the road, I think off a Lakeshore Drive, to go in, and it had muffins at a Nintendo meeting. I'm like, wow, this is like a 180 from last night.
That was.
I'm like, welcome to all sides of Chicago. But, oh, God. And then we went to McCormick Place, and that was huge. Remember, I was just kind of wigged out because I'm like, where is everything?
Oh, yeah, it was huge.
but it was because, you know, it's CES, so it's all kinds of electronics. It's just we had to go find the video game nook.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, you know, E3 is all video games. Well, I guess it doesn't really exist anymore because it's there.
Right.
Do this year. So I don't know if
Right.
they're coming back or not. It was a little shaky last year as it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if they're coming back. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, CES was the big video game thing at the time. But yeah, you're right. It was filled with a bunch of other electronic stuff too. It wasn't just video games.
Right. Right. Yeah, there was. I mean, that whole front area. We had to walk in and go through the area that steps down between goes over the highway.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was kind of off to the side. You walked into that area. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I went to a NAMM show there once as well. I guess that was after you and I had gone. So, but yeah, that was oh man, what a blast. We had such a good time. Such a good time.
Yeah, I don't think there was many CES shows after that. Really, I think didn't E3 start in mid 90s or so?
Yeah, and a lot of them happen in Vegas. You know, it's like the NAMM show. The NAMM show doesn't happen in Chicago anymore. I mean, they used to move it around. It was always in California, but then the one in the summer was somewhere else. And now it's been in Nashville for a while again. So, but yeah, we'll have to get to one again if we can do that.
Yeah, if E3 ever comes back.
Yeah.
I think it's been in Los Angeles for a while now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Kind of like Comic-Con in San Diego.
Yeah.
Wow. What time do we get started tonight?
I think we're right about at an hour.
All right. Well, shall we
wrap it up?
Shall we wrap up? It's great to be here. It's great talking with you, man. Jeff and I met many years ago. What was the band that brought us together?
The Knack, and in particular the song "She's So Selfish."
That's absolutely right. Thank God you go to bed knowing you've done it right.
Because
we don't have to divorce.
Oh, we were working together, and didn't I have that song playing?
You did. You turned it on. We didn't have any music playing yet, and you turned on "She's So Selfish" from Get the Knack, and I turned around. I was like, what? I flipped out. I'm like,
I don't know anybody that knows them.
I'm like, that is my favorite Knack song. And you're like, it's my favorite Knack song. I'm like,
I love that song.
Holy crap. So we'll talk about some of our Knack stuff as well. Some more stuff too. But that's what brought us together. And then we found out about the games and started doing all that. So
it was all over once we started playing games.
You do realize I won't touch Wave Race for a while. You go ahead and hook yours up and practice. And
I'm gonna have to practice for a few months. We'll play in 2021.
You're gonna have to practice hooking up the game or playing. I'm just asking.
You know what? My Nintendo 64 is actually hooked up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I didn't tell you this, but when I entered some YouTuber contest several months ago, and I won, and the prize was let's see, what was it? It was I got a Nintendo 64 controller. Actually, well, I can't point on this thing.
I know it.
Right there. There's an orange thing.
Yeah.
And it's a Nintendo 64, but it's brand new. But it's not the pitchfork thing or the trident anymore. And the buttons are laid out like a normal controller today.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. I won that, and then I won this HDMI connector for Nintendo 64. So you plug it in, and it allows you to output the highest resolution using an HDMI cable.
Shut up.
So I have it hooked up with an HDMI, and it looks as good as it's gonna look, unless there might be. I think there might be there might be even a better mod where you can. I think it might be a physical thing where you have to get in there and change stuff around. But as far as just like hooking up cables, this is probably one of the best ways you can do it. So, but it was cool because I plugged it in. It looks pretty nice.
Wow.
I even have the GameCube hooked up, and I've got. I actually bought this one. It was an adapter for an HDMI. Some company called I think it's Eon.
Okay.
And you plug it in to the back of your GameCube, and then you run the HDMI. And that one, the Nintendo 64 one, it looks a little better.
Yeah.
But the best part is you can plug it in with your HDMI cord.
Right. I mean, that makes it easy.
But the GameCube one is also HDMI, but the difference in quality is night and day. It's unbelievable.
Really?
And some of the games almost look like it's a step up. Almost like maybe not quite a full generation up, but maybe like a half step or a little bit more.
Okay.
When I put in Soul Calibur.
Oh yeah.
Any game like that that's has progressive scan, looks unbelievable. Because a lot of the games, I don't know about a lot, but there are several games that I have that are progressive scan and they're widescreen.
Yeah.
So when you played on the old CRT, you don't know they didn't do widescreen mode.
No.
But now they actually do some of these games. I think Metroid Prime. I think Soul Calibur, maybe.
Wow.
I think F-Zero GX, that was the name.
Yeah.
These are all now in widescreen, running on HDMI, and the graphics look incredible. So you definitely have to try that out because it'll blow your mind how much better it is.
And are you talking about the GameCube one? Oh, good God, I'd love to play Bloody Roar.
Nintendo 64 one improves it a little bit. The GameCube one improves it a lot. It's really nice.
That's kind of like when the PlayStation 2 came out and you would play your PlayStation games on it and it had better sound and it enhanced all of those. I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
That is nice.
Like when I'll never forget it. My buddy got it and he goes, "Oh, wait till you play CTR on this." And we did, and we'd go into the tunnels and the sound was much more, there would be a difference in the sound normally, but when you played it on that, it was just thicker. There just seemed to be a little more, the tunnels seemed to sound a little more hollow. It just was really cool. Really cool. Now, I bought this the other day. I just was going to say I'm loving this.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. If anybody's out there and you want to use a handheld piece for like pinball and stuff, I was having trouble with the signal on my Joy-Cons. So sometimes I'd go to hit the flipper and it would just sit there. And it was at like a critical part of the game. So I bought one of these. Obviously, you can see it's wired. It's pretty cool. It's like a 10-foot cable. So I go from the television all the way back to the couch with it with no problem. And so speaking of the GameCube, I got the classic GameCube controller. And what was really silly is I was looking at it and my son goes, "Oh, you're looking at the GameCube controller." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's what it is." I knew it looked familiar. But I love it. I'm loving using that. They had some that were a little more bulky that had, I showed Jeff the one where it had the Zelda graphics on it and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And those were nice, but they're bulkier. They're more like an Xbox, big thing. Which
GameCube controller is one of my favorite ones.
Same here. It's just grippable. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I will use that like crazy. I played a bunch of pinball on it last night. Like we said, that FX3 pinball stuff is awesome for anybody out there who's looking for good pinball games. They have some really cool titles. They go on sale periodically. They've got a couple of them that are on sale right now, which are not like you bought the Jurassic Park ones recently, right?
Yeah. I think it was 50% off, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was really cheap.
10?
and it gave you 3 games for $4.99, I think it was.
Yeah.
And
I bought most of my stuff when they go on sale.
yeah.
I go on there and I check out every so often just to see if anything's on sale.
Yeah. So I'm going to be getting more. I do want to get the Universal Monsters one and the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Ooh,
I did pick up Walking Dead the other day for, I think it was $3.99 or something. And what's the other one? Shoot, I got it really cheap too. It's the old game. It's the Portal.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have that. I've got that table.
Yeah, I picked it up cheap the other day too. So, but I'm really enjoying that wired controller for that. It's really, really good.
Awesome.
So anyway, well, all right. Well, we'll wrap it up. Go Gabe, go.
All right. Got one show in the books.
One show. Yeah, that's right. That's what it's talking about. So we'll change up our backgrounds and we'll see what's going on. And I'm working on a theme song.
Perfect. All right. See ya.
Talk to you soon. See you.
All right, bye.